Let's start doing arithmetic with strings. Let's see what Python can do for that. Okay, so we had before print hello world with a space in between the hello and the world, and we printed that out. Here, what I've done is something different. I've told it print hello, then use the string delimiter is here, right? So this is a string, this is a string, and now I've used a plus that's in between the strings. Does anyone want to guess what we're going to get out?
Words.
What's that?
Hello with no spaces.
Yes, okay. That's what I think will happen too. Sure enough. Now let's see what happens when we try this. So I told it, please print hello minus O. And it told me, I don't know how to do that. Actually what it said was type error, unsupported operand type or types for minus, stir, and stir. str is Python shorthand for string. Technically, minus is defined as an operation from two elements of the same type to another element that has that same type. Right? So 5 minus 4, we think of it as just 1, but technically from a mathematical perspective, minus is a function that takes two integers, or two real numbers, as an input, and returns a single integer, right? So from the computer's perspective, what we were asking it to do was to calculate minus of hello and O. We're asking it to treat minus as a function which has a well-defined behavior for when we give it strings in this particular left to right order. And it said, I don't know how to do that with minus. Like, minus is not defined for when you're doing string subtraction. So in some languages, minus is defined. It's clear what we wanted Python to do in this case, and that is not how Python is designed. Python doesn't have string minusing. I might say in some ways this makes sense, because what you might be tempted to do is also to do something like print hello minus capital H. And in that case, what you would want it to do was give you back hello. Or you might want it to say print hello minus O. And in that case, what you want it to do is give you back hell. Okay, and you can't define minus so that it's going to do whichever one you want at that particular moment. So because of this type of ambiguity, they didn't define what string minusing does. Is that clear? Okay, so string arithmetic is mostly limited to string addition. So string addition, like what we call addition mathematically, means concatenation in the context of Python. So that's almost the only mathematical operation you can do with strings. There's one difference, I think. Okay, we already found out that that guy's bad. Let's see if we can do multiplication. Yes, we can do string multiplication. So if you put integer, then star, the multiplication sign, and then a string, what it will do is it will do the same thing as if you had just typed that string plus that string plus that string, or however many times you have for that integer. I think you can do pre-multiplication or post-multiplication. Let's test that. Yes. So you can generate multiple copies of the string by putting 3 times the string or the string times 3 or whatever, either before or after. This is rarely useful, but it's possible. That has exhausted the limits of string arithmetic. However, as it turns out, Python treats a string as a sequence of data, which makes sense because it is a sequence of characters. And what you might want to do in some cases, like for example, if you want to do this string subtraction thing, is you want to access individual characters in the string. Okay, so what I want us all to do is to start off by typing x equals hello. Okay, so what we've done is we've created a new object, the string hello, and we've assigned it to a variable. The variable's name is x, so if we want to access the value of x, we type x. Okay, notice that this time it did put the quotes around x. Why did it do that? Because Python is telling us x is a string. Therefore, I'm going to put quotes around it to show you that it's a string. If we type print x, we already know that we're asking Python for a string. It's not going to put the strings there. But if it shows us this is the value x, it puts the delimiters around it to show us the data type of x. So the quotes there mean x is a string, not the quotes are part of the string.